Military comparison between Nepal and China. The military capabilities of nations often reflect their geopolitical priorities, economic strength, and historical contexts. In the case of Nepal and China, the disparity in military power is vast, given the significant differences in size, population, economy, and strategic focus. While Nepal is a small landlocked country nestled in the Himalayas, China is one of the world's largest and most powerful nations, with a global military presence. This article explores the key aspects of their military comparison, including size, budget, equipment, training, and strategic roles. 1. Geopolitical context. Nepal and China share a border along the Himalayan range, but their military strategies are shaped by vastly different geopolitical realities. Nepal's military primarily focuses on internal security, disaster response, and maintaining stability in its rugged terrain. Its armed forces also play a role in peacekeeping missions under the United Nations, UN. China, on the other hand, has a far more ambitious military agenda. As a permanent member of the UN Security Council and a rising superpower, China's People's Liberation Army, PLA, is tasked with defending its vast territory, projecting power across Asia-Pacific, and securing its interests globally. 2. Military size and structure. Nepal. 1. The Nepalese armed forces consist of 3 branches: the Nepalese Army, Air Force, and Armed Police Force. Active personnel: approximately 95,000 soldiers. Reserve forces: limited reserves due to resource constraints. The Army plays a dual role in both defense and civil duties, such as disaster relief during earthquakes or floods. China. 2. The PLA is one of the largest standing militaries in the world, comprising the ground force, Navy, Air Force, rocket force, and strategic support force. Active personnel: over 2 million troops. Reserve forces: estimated at around 500,000. China's military structure emphasizes modernization, cyber warfare, space dominance, and advanced technology integration. 3. Defense budget. Nepal. 1. Nepal's annual defense budget is relatively modest, amounting to approximately $400 - 500 million United States dollars. Given its limited resources, Nepal prioritizes basic operational needs over high-tech acquisitions. Much of the budget goes toward maintaining existing infrastructure and personnel costs. China. 2. China's defense budget for 2023 exceeded $230 billion USD, making it the second largest spender globally after the United States. Beijing invests heavily in cutting-edge technologies like hypersonic missiles, stealth aircraft, aircraft carriers, and artificial intelligence, AI-driven systems. A significant portion of the budget supports research and development, ensuring that China remains competitive in emerging domains like cyber and space warfare. 4. Equipment and technology. Nepal. 1. Nepal relies on outdated Soviet-era equipment and some modernized gear supplied by friendly countries like India, the United States, and China. Major assets include light tanks, armored personnel carriers, and small arms. The Nepalese Air Force operates a mix of helicopters and transport planes, primarily used for logistical support and humanitarian missions. Cybersecurity and electronic warfare capabilities are minimal. China. 2. The PLA boasts state-of-the-art weaponry, including fifth-generation fighter jets, e.g., J-20, nuclear submarines, intercontinental ballistic missiles, ICBMs, and multiple aircraft carriers. China leads in areas like drone swarms, anti-satellite weapons, and quantum communication systems. Its navy, known as the People's Liberation Army Navy, is expanding rapidly, with ambitions to project power into the Indian Ocean and beyond. 5. Training and readiness. Nepal. 1. Nepalese soldiers are renowned for their mountaineering skills and resilience in challenging terrains, which makes them valuable contributors to international peacekeeping missions. However, training programs are constrained by limited funding and outdated curricula. Joint exercises with neighboring countries like India and China help improve interoperability and tactical knowledge. China. 2. The PLA undergoes rigorous training, incorporating simulations, live fire drills, and joint operations across all branches. China regularly conducts large-scale military exercises in collaboration with Russia and other allies. Emphasis is placed on integrating AI, robotics, and autonomous systems into combat scenarios. 6. Strategic alliances and diplomacy. Nepal. 1. Nepal maintains a policy of non-alignment but enjoys close ties with both India and China. It participates in UN peacekeeping missions, deploying thousands of troops worldwide since the 1950s. Nepal's strategic location between India and China makes it geopolitically significant, though it avoids taking sides in regional conflicts. China. 2. China is part of several multilateral organizations, including the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, SCO, and BRICS. It engages in military cooperation with countries across Africa, Southeast Asia, and Latin America. Beijing uses its military might to assert claims in disputed regions, such as Taiwan, the South China Sea, and the Himalayan border with India. 7. Border disputes and bilateral relations. While Nepal and China have maintained peaceful relations overall, there have been occasional tensions over border demarcation in the Himalayas. For instance, disputes over Mount Everest and certain sections of the Sino-Nepalese border occasionally flare up. However, these issues are typically resolved through diplomatic channels rather than military confrontation. In contrast, China's territorial disputes with neighbors like India and Japan involve higher stakes and frequent military posturing. Nepal benefits from this dynamic, as it serves as a buffer zone between India and China while receiving aid and investment from both powers. Conclusion: the military comparison between Nepal and China highlights an immense gap in capabilities driven by differences in scale, resources, and objectives. Nepal's armed forces are well suited for their primary roles of internal security and disaster management but lack the capacity for large-scale external operations. Meanwhile, China's PLA represents a formidable force capable of influencing regional and global affairs. Despite the imbalance, Nepal's strategic position ensures its relevance in South Asian geopolitics. By balancing its relationships with both India and China, Nepal can continue to leverage its unique geography and maintain stability in the region. For China, maintaining good relations with smaller neighbors like Nepal is crucial for securing its periphery and advancing its broader strategic goals. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more content that inspires and uplifts.